Good morning, everyone, and welcome to semester 2. I just wanted to take a moment to kind of go over some highlights with you and review the class expectations, how to find everything within OMHS, and also provide you with some tips on how to schedule your time. Even if you were with me last semester, I still encourage you to watch this video because now that you are no longer brand new to our school, it is a great time for you to kind of reset and reevaluate and say, okay, did last semester work well? Was I on top of my assignments? Did I have a good routine? I wasn't feeling overwhelmed? Or maybe the opposite's true. Maybe you had a difficult start and you kind of got behind and felt like you were playing catch up. So please take all of this information to heart and use that so that way you can have a successful semester, because the goal is not to have you be overwhelmed. Will there be some days that, you maybe have more work than others? Yeah, but I mean, that's life. But I don't want you to be constantly feeling that way and to constantly feel like you're playing catch up. You should be able to work on the current material and be able to get that last list done so that way you can have a good balance between doing school and also being able to enjoy some free time in the evenings. All right, without further ado, let's get started. Here we are on OMHS. So OMHS stands for Online Middle and High School, and we are specifically within the second semester pre-algebra class. A couple different ways you can know you're in the right class. It says pre-algebra 8B, which B means it's second semester, okay? Here we are on our homepage. Let's first talk about this banner right here, because I think one of the biggest misconceptions is this banner is how everybody, or a lot of students, tracked their work. They only looked at this only for their grade. They didn't look any deeper. They did all of their work based on the overdue list. That's not really a good plan, because if you're always doing things after they're overdue, that means you're always doing them late and you're always playing catch up. So instead of using this banner to help you know what you should be doing, one of the things that you can use is the newsletter. The newsletter, you have one for every class. It's published every Monday morning at 8 a.m. And it's listed in the class announcements page, which the home page has your class announcements. So we're going to scroll down and find the newsletter. And I always date it with the week. You can view the newsletter two ways. One, you can click right here, open up a PDF, so that way you can save it or print it. Or two, you can just look at it right here on the screen. The nice thing is your newsletter is going to be set up the same every week. Obviously, the material will be different, but the pattern will be the same, which means you can use this to build yourself a schedule. You can use this like a to-do list and tell you what you should do for math every single day. And then you can do the same for your other subjects. Use that to tell you how to schedule your day, so that way you know that you're always getting your work done in the right order, as well as getting it finished on time. All right, for math, all of your assignments will always be due on a Tuesday, which means Mondays are kind of like a catch-up day for math. Mondays are the day where I list and remind you these are the assignments that were assigned last week and they're due tomorrow. So you need to make sure you get them done. Obviously, since this is the first week of school, you didn't have any new assignments. But when you see next week's newsletter, you're going to see the 3 assignments from this week listed there, and it's reminding you to get them done and make sure that you're happy with your score. So that way they're completed on time and you know that you won't get any missing zeros. All right, Tuesday is then a day set aside for you to do asynchronous, so independent work. Tuesday is when you want to work in OMHS, which is this site right here, and complete your lessons. Sometimes the lessons are videos, other times they're videos along with readings, but either way, it's important that you do the lesson. The reason for this is since you only see me 2 times a week, you have to do part of the learning on your own. So you need to complete those lessons on Tuesday when you're asked, or you could complete them early and do them Monday, but either way, you need to do them by Tuesday so that way you are prepared for Wednesday. All right. Here we have the name of the assignment. So you're doing module 701 and you're doing those 3 things within the module. And when I'm done talking about the newsletter, we'll go and find those. All right, Wednesday then is your lesson day and your day to work on an assignment. Wednesday morning is when you have both your whole group and your small group class connect session with me. Whole group is an hour long, small group is 30 minutes. Both are required, so make sure you attend. And then I repeat down here what the topic is. Well, the topic is 701, which is why you needed to watch the videos on Tuesday so you could get some background knowledge. So then when you come with me, I can clarify the vocab. We can do more examples. I can answer your questions to make sure you fully understand it. And then there's always either an Ixl assignment or an OMHS assignment that is aligned with that lesson. And that typically is what we focus on in the small group. All right, Thursday and Friday then repeat the same pattern as Tuesday and Wednesday did. Thursday is an asynchronous workday. You, for this Thursday, needed to complete OMHS Module 702, and then I listed the 3 things that you needed to do. And just like earlier in the week, those need to be done by Thursday, so that way Friday afternoon, when you come to the whole group and small group class connect sessions, you are prepared, and I'm not just hitting you with brand new information. Because if you don't come prepared, then you might be confused during my lesson. But if you come prepared, it's going to be a little bit easier. And just like on Wednesday, we have our topic for our whole group, and then the assignment that you need to work on throughout that day and or get some extra help on it in my small group. All right, last but not least, to wrap things up, I do have a nice, concise due date area, because obviously Monday through Friday, I've listed everything. But if you're kind of a big picture person, if you come right here and look at the due dates, these are the 3 assignments that are graded. These are the 3 assignments that you need to make sure you have done by next Tuesday. Okay? Help sessions. This week I only had 1 because Monday we hadn't really started yet, but typically my help sessions are every Monday and Thursday at 4 p.m. That's just an open time where you can come in and ask questions. If you're newer and you have questions about the platforms, the websites, come and ask those. If you have questions about specific assignments, or maybe you don't have questions yet, but you want to use that time to work on the assignment, so if you do run into any issues, I'm there and can help you. That's another great way. And then at the very bottom is my contact information. So just in case that top button up above where it says contact your teacher doesn't work, right down here you have a copy of my email and phone number. All right, so this right here is the biggest part that I think is important for everyone, even if you were here last semester, is making sure you're aware of this newsletter and using that to schedule your time, because that will help keep you from falling behind. Now we're going to go in and we're going to talk about the content section, how to find all these assignments, talk about the gradebook, and then lastly, we'll move on to Ixl. All right, right up here in this blue bar, content is where you can find the asynchronous OMHS modules that you need to do, and also you can find important information about those Ixl assignments. All right, the page that you arrive at is going to be different because it just depends on what you last left off. So this person last left off at looking at their course schedule, which I think is kind of nice because it lets them know what is going to be available and what is due in the upcoming weeks. If we look right here, right now you have 2 different modules open. One is the Ixl Diagnostic, which I'll get to in a minute. The other is the module for this unit. So we're going to open up Unit 7. And once you do, let's zero in on this right here. Right here we have 701, which is the module, all the lessons that you were supposed to complete on Tuesday. And as we can see right here, this person has completed them. What they did is they clicked on this link, watched the video, and then they checked it off. It's a virtual to-do list. Watch the video, check it off. Watch the video, check it off. And once you do that, that's when you have this large check mark out here that lets you know you've completed everything within module 701. However, 702 is not yet finished. We can see that this person went ahead and took the quiz, but they didn't watch any of the videos. So make sure that you always do your work in order, because you don't want to accidentally use all your attempts on something or hurt your SMART score. So what they should do is they should go back, watch this video, check it off. Same with these two, and then go and retake the quiz so that way they can make sure they have the best possible grade. All right, another beautiful part about this is I have a module that is specific for your Ixl assignments. So if you know an assignment is from Ixl, all you got to do is go to your current unit and click on that topic. And just like before, here we have a listing. So another spot where it's like a checklist. I have the assignment right here. I even remind you, I say after watching the videos in 701, so it's a reminder, complete 701 first. Then you can complete the assignment. This is the name as it appears in Ixl. I also have a direct hyperlink, or if the hyperlink doesn't work for you, this is a shortcut code. So you can search this in Ixl and it'll take you right to the assignment. And just like with everything else, after you complete it, make sure you hit this checkbox so that way you can mark it off as done and it doesn't come up and overdue in the future. All right. The other thing that I want to speak about is live session notes. The very first module that you're going to have in every unit is where I'm going to upload a copy of the notes. So of course you can always go back and watch the recording, but if you only missed something tiny or you aren't sure if you copied down your notes right, you can always come here, click on this link, and that'll be a PDF of the notes from that live session. All right, we're going to hop on over and talk about grades, and then we're going to end and discuss all things Ixl. All right, if we go back to the class homepage, this is where you can see your overall grade. But you shouldn't stop there, because what we need to find out is if this person or if you have completed all 3 assignments for the week. And since they're not due yet, it's not going to hurt your grade if you haven't done it. But you don't want it to hurt your grade next week and go in the missing overdue category. Therefore, if you're not sure if you've completed everything on the newsletter, right here where I have this green arrow, click on the grades tab. And this informs you of your total points, your letter grade, and then we have the individual assignments. So we can see this Ixl assignment has been completed, got a SMART score of an 81. Awesome. The 702 quiz has been done. Got 100% on that too. Sweet. And then the Ixl Diagnostic, which we're going to get to in a moment, which is a weekly grade. See how it's blank? That means it isn't finished yet. So this would be a great way if you notice this to say, okay, I can see these 3 assignments. These are the 3 due this week. I am missing the diagnostic. So I need to go back and complete that. But here's the nice thing. You don't have to click all these buttons and go back to content and then find it. Right here in the feedback is a direct link to the assignment. So I've tried to make it easy on you. If you click on this direct link, it will take you straight to the assignment. So that way you can see what you need to do, or if it's an assignment within OMHS, you can just click on it and do it. All right. Now that we've wrapped that up, this gives us a great talking point to talk about the Ixl Diagnostic. I'm going to come up here and back it up a page so that way we can see the full Ixl Diagnostic module, which was found within the Content tab. All right. This is an important part for everyone because this is a new adjustment, whether you're a new student or not. Last semester with the diagnostic, our focus was for you to get an initial score, so to get those 6 stars. This semester, our focus is for you to work on it weekly, so that way you can continue to update your score and review information, because I don't want you to forget things. I want you to be prepared so you can do your best this year. What that means is each week you are required to answer a minimum of 15 questions within the Diagnostic Arena for math. And then you are going to need to do an additional 15 for ELA. I'm obviously going to focus on the math, all right? Now, this is an all or nothing grade. So if you answer 2 questions, you're not going to get any points. You need to answer a minimum of 15 to get the points, okay? Now, it's a weekly grade. It's a small grade, but it is weekly because I want to make sure that you guys are completing this. And also, every single point adds up. For those of you guys that were close to that bubble range last semester, so you were either on the bubble between an F and a D or a C and a B, you know that 1 or 2 points can make a big difference. So this honestly should be a pretty easy grade for you each week, a nice way for you to get a couple points to help improve your grade. If you have any questions about finding the Diagnostic Arena, I have included a video for you where I specifically go over that, but I also will address it here at the end of this video too. And then in the individual diagnostic assignment, I've given you a little screenshot to remind you how you can get to the Diagnostic Arena. So if you just need a short refresher, you can look at this picture to remind you that you click on Diagnostic, hit Step into the Arena, change it to be math only, so that way you can focus on getting your 15 math questions done. All right, last thing to go over in regards to Ixl is let's talk about the rubric for the regular Ixl assignments. I'm going to go back to the Systems of Equations unit, go into our Ixl assignments, and right here we see a copy of the rubric. Every single class this semester is going to be grading your Ixls the same, which is wonderful. It makes it a lot easier. They're all going to be graded out of a rubric of 8 points. And essentially, each TENS grouping of the SMART score equals 1 point in the grade book. So if we look here, if you get a SMART score in the 20s, that's 2 points. 30s, 3 points. 40s, 4 points, and so on. Okay, so it makes it really easy for you to know how many points you're going to get. Now, with this rubric, if you see there's a blue line right here, that blue line separates the acceptable grades from the you either need to practice more or ask for help grades, okay? So your goal when you're working on Ixl is to always get at least a 60, okay? Because if you get a SMART score of a 60, that will give you 6 points, which is a C, and that's a good grade. SMART score of a 70, 7 points, which is a B. SMART score of an 80 is 100%. And the reason for that is in Ixl, they consider an 80 mastery. So mastery means you've mastered it, which is 100%. Now, it is possible for you to get above an 80. Once you get into the 90 SMART score range, you get challenge questions. You enter that challenge zone, so they're a little bit trickier, a little bit tougher. So if you do manage to get up into that, we will reward you with 1 extra credit point, all right? So remember, you do not have to get a SMART score of 100. You can, but you don't have to. Your goal is to get at least a 60. All right, the last thing that I want to go over is, as you can see here with every assignment, I'm going to be reminding you of that rubric because I don't want there to be any confusion. And after the lesson has been taught, I always upload a video to help you with it. So if you're a visual person and you kind of need some extra assistance and it's maybe you're working on it at 8 o'clock at night and I'm unreachable, here is a video that you can watch that will go over some examples for you. And then if it helps, awesome. If it helps a little bit but you still have questions, then at least you watched it, you got a little bit of background knowledge, then you can come to my help session on a Monday or Thursday and I can work with you some more. All right. So that wraps it up for all of the information I wanted to share with you about OMHS. I know it was a lot, but I want to make sure that you have one video that has all of this in one place. Now let's switch over and talk more about Ixl. Let's go to the specific Ixl website. First thing is you want to make sure you go to the right one, because if you're not on the right website, it's going to make it harder for you to log in, okay? I encourage you to bookmark this website because you're going to be using Ixl every single day and you use it in all of your core classes. So it's very important. You know you're on the right website if you see the panther, okay? And that correct website is right up here, ixl.com/sign-in/Florida Online. And by doing that, it automatically populates part of your username for you. But if you guys do accidentally go to the wrong website, or if you're trying to get on the app, you can do that. That just means you have to type in @Florida Online at the end of your username in order for it to work, okay? Once you sign in, the very first thing that you want to do is look right up here by my picture. It should say welcome and then have your first and last name. Make sure you're really signed in, because the worst thing ever would be for you to not be signed in, because it'll let you answer a few questions without signing in. And then since you're not signed in, your work isn't saved. Or maybe you have a sibling that's also on Ixl and you're accidentally doing the work under your sibling's page. That would be really stinky too. So just make it a habit to double check that you're signed in every single time, so that way your work can count. All right, here we are on the home page, okay? There's a couple different ways that you can access your assignments. One is you can click on the links I've given you in OMHS and it will take you right to the Ixl assignment. But let's say that's not working. Remember, I provided you with a short it's not really a digit, but it's also not really a letter because it's both, but basically a code that's 3 characters long. You can type that in the search bar up here and it will easily find the assignment for you. Another way that's even easier is right here in this starred section where it says 49 suggestions from your teachers. If you open that up, these are all of the assignments your teachers have given you. And this is a kind of a nice little to-do list because it goes in order from most recent to oldest. And you can know whether you've done them or not based on the SMART score. So I can tell this person has not done these 2 assignments because there's nothing after it in parentheses. But this one they've completed because they have a score in parentheses, and that's a 93 SMART score, so that's a good grade. So even though it's still on their list, you don't have to worry about it because you have a SMART score of a 60, so that's awesome. And here's the math one that they did, SMART score of an 81, okay? This right here is also one place that you can remember to do the diagnostic, all right? I'm going to show you another way you can access the diagnostic, but one way is right here. This very first thing is always going to be there. We're constantly reminding you to answer 15 questions in math each week and 15 questions in ELA each week. So you can click on that and it'll take you to the diagnostic. Or another way that you can access the diagnostic is clicking on the tab right here. Most of you have already worked on this, so therefore your page will look like this. If you are brand new, then you're not going to have any scores yet. But how you actually work in the diagnostic arena is you click Step into the Arena. This right here is what counts for your 15 questions. The recommended skills are what you practice in addition. That's what helps you either remember the things you've forgotten or freshen up your memory. So those are important to do, but that's done separately. That I can't really, I can monitor, but that's different for everyone. So that just needs to be done each week. But after you've done those skills, what goes towards your 15 questions, what goes towards that grade is right here where you click Step into the Arena. Once you step into the arena, it automatically sets it to where you get a mixture of math and language arts questions. If you like that, then that's fine, you can keep it that way. I personally don't, because that makes it harder to keep track of whether you've answered 15 questions in each. So right here below my camera, where there's this double circle and a caret, if you click on it, you can change your view. So if I'm sitting down to work on math, I'm going to click on it and set it to be math questions only. So that way I can be counting and say, okay, I've answered 15 math questions. I'm good to go. Or if it's time to do English, you can click on the English language arts and answer your 15 questions for that. Okay? All right, so I know this video was a little bit lengthy, but I hope that it is good and concise, and that way you guys have all the information you need, all the refreshers, so that way you can feel confident to have a good plan and start this year and this new semester off strong, so that way you can have a wonderful end to your 8th grade year. As always, if you guys have any questions, I am only an email or a phone call away. Just let me know and I'll be happy to help. All right, bye guys.